a day's lodging. Messner shrugged his shoulders. If you do, I'll call a miners' meeting and see you strung up to the nearest tree. As you said, this is not California. They're a simple folk, these miners, and all I'll have to do will be to show them the marks of the beating, tell them the truth about you, and present my claim for my wife. The woman attempted to speak, but Womble turned upon her fiercely. "You keep out of this," he cried. In marked contrast was Messner's, "Please, don't intrude, Teresa." What of her anger and pent feelings, her lungs were irritated into the dry hacking cough, and with blood-suffused face and one hand clenched against her chest, she waited for the paroxysm to pass. Womble looked gloomily at her, noting her cough. "Something must be done," he said. "Yet her lungs can't stand the exposure. She can't travel till the temperature rises. And I'm not going to give her up." Messner hemmed, cleared his throat, and hemmed again, semi-apologetically, and said, "I need some money." Contempt showed instantly in Womble's face. At last, beneath him in vileness, had the other sunk himself. "You've got a fat sack of dust," Messner went on. "I saw you unload it from the sled." "How much do you want?" Womble demanded, with a contempt in his voice equal to that in his face. "I made an estimate of the sack, and I should say it weighed about 20 pounds. What do you say we call it 4,000? "But it's all I've got, man," Womble cried out. "You've got her," the other said soothingly. "She must be worth it. Think what I'm giving up. Surely it is a reasonable price." "All right." Womble rushed across the floor to the gold sack. "Can't put this deal through too quick for me, you little worm." "Now there you are," was the smiling rejoinder. "As a matter of ethics, isn't the man who gives a bribe as bad as the man who takes a bribe? The receiver is as bad as the thief, you know, and you needn't console yourself with any fictitious moral superiority concerning this little deal." "To hell with your ethics," the other burst out. "Come here and watch the weighing of this dust. I might cheat you." And the woman, leaning against the bunk, raging and impotent, watched herself weighed out in yellow dust and nuggets in the scales erected on the grub box. The scales were small, making necessary many weighings, and Messner with precise care verified each weighing. "There's too much silver in it," he remarked as he tied up the gold sack. "I don't think it will run quite 16 to the ounce. You got a trifle the better of me, Womble." He handled the sack lovingly, and with due appreciation of its preciousness, carried it out to his sled. Returning, he gathered his pots and pans together, packed his grub box, and rolled up his bed. When the sled was lashed and the complaining dogs harnessed, he returned into the cabin for his mittens. "Goodbye, Tess," he said, standing at the open door.